Hello, everyone. Today we are doing an analysis on Carrie and Big and who was at fault. I'm only gonna do this analysis up until their first breakup. That was before they, spoilers ahead, before they cheated on their respective partners. But yeah, I'm just gonna look at the first part of the relationship, who was the problem, blah blah blah. Because I'm currently rewatching. I love this shit. My life, my mind, my heart has been a commotion these days, and the only thing keeping me alive is Sex and the City. Okay, not the only thing. My life is not bad, but it's giving me comfort. So first off, okay, so the first problem they had in the relationship is that they started dating. It was all cute, whatever. Carrie was like, oh my God, I love him.
4-hour conversations flew by in the space of 15 minutes, and a few days apart felt like weeks.
But she thought that they were not dating anybody else, okay? And then she was just telling her friends at like a restaurant, like, oh my God, Big, I love Big, da 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 da. But then they stand up to leave, and she sees Big with another woman. And then she's like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm on a date. And she's like, oh, I didn't know you were seeing other people. And he was like, yeah, we never talked about it.
Got to be kidding.
How many women are you dating?
In the tri-state area?
Well, let's see. There's me, Julia. Oh, and let's not forget International Melissa.
Carrie, I'm not doing this here.
Okay, so this first thing, what I think about it, on one side, it could be seen as like Big's like fault, because they had been going out for a long time and they were like literally acting like boyfriend and girlfriend, da da da. So it's like, why are you dating other women? You literally treated me as your girlfriend, like the fuck. So I understand Carrie's disappointment and sadness on that one side, because they literally had been going out for a long-ish time, from what I assume. It's like, girl, you're treating me as your girlfriend and now you have no problem dating other women. So yeah, on one side, Big did that. On the other side, it's like, y'all never talked about it. And I do believe that if you never talked about it, if you never said, I don't want you seeing any other person, you should be that mad, because you guys never talked about it. So on one side, Big was like, yeah, we never talked about it, so I am allowed. And yeah, I agree with that. So in this situation, I think Carrie was in the right-ish, but also they never talked about it, so she cannot be that mad. And after this happened, Carrie goes out to like a fucking bar, makes out with this guy, and then at 3 a.m. she's like, Big, I'm out here, please see me outside, something like that. Like she talks to him and they meet up, and then she's like, why don't you commit to me? Then they agree to date.
I've done the merry-go-round. I've been through the revolving door. I feel like I met somebody I can stand still with for a minute, and don't you want to stand still with me?
And some people might say, like, why was Carrie literally forcing Big to commit? But I don't, like, he's a grown man. He's a grown man. And we know how Big is. And if he doesn't want to do something, he literally won't do it. So I don't think she's forcing him to commit. He's a grown man, so he agreed to it. Like, the fuck? He's older than her. I don't know, bruh. He's old. He can make his own decisions. I don't think Carrie's forcing him or anything. Okay, 2. The second problem they had in the relationship was that Carrie was freaking out about Big only taking her to this Chinese restaurant that apparently men take women they don't want to be seen with. And also she freaked out about Big not introducing her to his friend that they saw on the street. Okay, on one hand, I think about the introducing her to his friend, Carrie was right. Like, personally, I've been in situations where I was on a date with somebody and they saw someone they knew, and I was just then like, even if I'm not dating you, like, imagine I'm a friend, like, just be like, hey, this is blah, 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 blah. And that's nice. I do that with people, friends, whoever the fuck, like, just introduce people. It's like you're ashamed of being there. I don't know, they have to make it all awkward. And like, Big's excuse was that, oh, I didn't remember his name. But like, you could have just said, oh, hi, this is Carrie. Like literally, you don't even have to say his name. So Carrie was right about the not introducing her. It's like it gave me the feeling that he was kind of ashamed, or like he was like, this is not serious, I don't have to introduce you to anybody. Like, it's just, I believe it's kind of disrespectful. Okay. And then about the Chinese restaurant, it was just a Chinese restaurant, and I understand why Carrie would think like, oh, he's here because other men take women here that they don't want to be seen with. But it's also like, girl, don't get mad without asking. Like, don't assume that shit. Because Big, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, he genuinely liked the Chinese food there. So it's like, Carrie was wrong about the Chinese restaurant, but she was right about the not introducing. Because, the fuck? Okay, then Carrie sees Big with his mom, and she gets mad because Big doesn't want to introduce her to his mom. In this instance, obviously Carrie's in the wrong. Like, okay.
Sunday morning. A time for rest, a time for relaxation, a time for spying. Oh, there they are.
Where?
There. As I watched Mr. Big standing quietly next to his mother,
Mother, this is my friend, Carrie.
I searched my friend, Carrie.
What are you trying to do, test me? I mean, why all of a sudden interest in meeting my mother?
Well, has the woman ever even heard of me?
My mother doesn't need to meet another girlfriend.
Oh.
I didn't mean that. That's... I mean, I'll introduce you as my girlfriend when I'm sure.
Oh.
Look, I have to do things on my time frame.
Time frame? We've been going out for months.
In my opinion, like, I understand Big a little bit because, like, I have to know it's for real before I even talk about you to my parents or something. It's not like I've ever been in this situation, but I'm just speculating. It's like, I need to know this is for real. And like, I can love you even without introducing you to my parents. And I don't think it's like a deal breaker. But also, that could be seen like as toxic behavior. So I understand Big on one hand. But Carrie feels like he owes her the introduction to his mom, which is not true. He doesn't owe you anything. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Like, you do what you want, and if you're not comfortable with it yet, just don't do it. And I think forcing a man to like introduce you to his mom is like weird. It's like stalkerish. When she went to church, it was weird. It was a weird thing. I did not enjoy it. So I guess Big is in the right here. Like, if you don't want him, if you don't want to introduce someone to your mom yet, just don't. And no one should have to force you to do that, in my opinion. However, I understand Carrie. I understand her, and I think everybody deserves a person who loves them just as much as they love the person. And Carrie obviously liked Big, or outwardly showed that she liked Big more than Big liked her. And if she was ready to introduce him to her parents, she should deserve a person who is also ready for that. You know? Like, she should be with a person who's also ready for that and loves her just as much. So I understand why she would get mad. But she can't beg him or force him to do that. In that situation, what would have been healthy for her would have just been like, okay, you don't love me as much as I love you. Let me skedoodle. That's it. Okay, so then season 2. I think they get back together. But Big, while they were together, started looking and flirting with other women and just starting like acting like an asshole. Which, what a loser. What a loser. In the horny asshole that you like have a woman in front of you, they're your girlfriend, and then you're just like, let me see other women. Like, bro, fuck you. That's just loser type of shit. Like, you're so horny that you can't get control of yourself. Like, control yourself. God damn. It's just loser shit. But it's like he's looking at other women and flirting with them while I'm literally right in front of him. That is not acceptable behavior. That's a loser right in front of you who's a horny like a loser who can't control himself, which is like, that I wouldn't want to be with a person like that. Then 5th issue they had. Okay, they decided to meet up one day, and Big was like, meet me at his lobby in his house, and then he just kept her waiting. He kept her waiting for like an hour. And of course she's gonna be mad. He didn't even call or something. And then he's like, you could have waited in the cafe. Fuck you, bruh. Fuck you. Apologize. You made her wait for such a long time. Didn't say nothing. Okay. Then on the same episode, he accidentally pushed her off the bed, which is like, it was accidental. He was sleeping. He can't control what he does while he sleeps. I don't know.
And waking, I got my answer.
I don't see an issue, but Carrie got mad. Carrie got mad at this. He's like, why doesn't he consider me? Because the problem with Carrie is that she does not speak up. If something's bothering her, if she's like assuming something about the relationship, she is not gonna speak up. She's gonna be like, I'm so mad. And then she's gonna like explode in anger. And then Big is just like, what the fuck is going on here? You've never told me about this. And then Carrie's like, talk about your issues. Talk about your issues. Okay, so that, of course, Big was in the right. Like, he was asleep. But then Carrie punched Big right after he pushed her off the bed.
Huh? Carrie? Oh, are you all right?
No!
What the fuck?
Oh my God.
What the hell was that?
You knocked me out of bed. You didn't even know I was here.
Well, I do now. Why don't you break my arm the next time?
It's ice for your face. Thing is, the other night wasn't just about the cigar.
It never is.
I hate that you look at other women. I hate that I don't have a key to your place. You've never spent the night at my place. You can't even make space for me in your bed. And it's not your fault because I never say it. I feel like I'm back in your life and nothing has really changed. And I know you can't change a man, and you definitely can't change a man like you, but I still want something to change a little bit for me.
Physical violence is never the answer.
Yeah.
And, okay, I get that maybe in the era where this was made, or like still in societies, like seeing like if a girl punches a guy or if they hit the guy, it's like not taken seriously. It's like, okay, a woman can never like hurt you. It's not physical abuse, but Carrie literally made him bleed. And maybe she didn't mean it to be as hard. Maybe it was just like, you know. But, okay. I think it's a very serious thing. Like, I would consider that, like, as physical abuse, sign number 1. So, yeah. I would have left. I would have left. But to not discard Carrie's likableness as a whole because of this, I'll take it as serious as the show took it, and as the people at the time took it, just to let the flow of the story go. Of course, right now we know it's like incorrect to, of course, to make your partner bleed. Hello, bleeding. It could be seen as one of those things that is instinctual. Like maybe she did it out of instinct. Let's just take it as serious as the show took it, which they didn't take it seriously, to not like stop the flow of the show and how the show perceived this action as, which wasn't perceived as like as a serious mistreatment. But of course, making your partner bleed.
But let's not take the bleeding thing as serious because the show didn't take it serious. For this specific scenario, I'm not justifying any making your partner bleed scenario. Like in reality and in this day and age, of course it's not good. But let's just take it as the show took it, to just get with the flow of the show. I hope you understand me. I'm not like justifying physical abuse or anything, but I'm saying, please understand me. Just to get with the flow of the show. Some characters in other shows from the past have done really misogynistic stuff, for example, but you know, you just have to get with the flow of the story because it's a product of the time, whatever. Okay.
A 6th issue they had, like on one episode. In this episode, Carrie wanted to tell Big that she loved him. And before she did that, Big gave her a Swan bag. And then she's like, he doesn't know me at all. And then she goes to a party and sees every other woman in there with a Swan bag, with the same one. And then he's like, okay, he doesn't love me at all. He doesn't know me. And then she cheats on him. She makes out with this other guy.
The first time I realized I actually loved Big was over toast and coffee one morning. The first time I actually felt like saying it was the night he took me to the ballet. and he hates the ballet. And then there was a time I never expected to say it.
Here.
Well, what's this for?
Oh, I just saw it and thought of you.
It was just wrong. It was wrong. I didn't know what to say except, I love you.
Well, I fucking love you. All right? You know I do.
Hey, good morning.
But it's just a tough thing for me to say because it always seems to get me in trouble.
A lot to unpack here. Okay, about the Swan bag that was given. Yeah, I wouldn't get mad, but I would be like, you don't know me that well. Like you don't take me that serious, do you? So yeah, about the cheating, girl, what the fuck? Okay, Big was toxic, has been toxic. We know he has been toxic, but cheating. We all know how I feel about that. Don't fucking cheat. And I don't know, Sex and the City is a weird show. I love it. You know, it's giving me comfort right now. But it doesn't take cheating as seriously. I don't know if that's just like the adult life. I don't know. I hope not. But again, let me just go with the flow of the show and not take Carrie's likableness away because of this. Because the show didn't take it as serious. So the viewer is not expected to take it as serious as well. So let's just go with the flow. Let's go with the flow. Not justifying cheating. I hope you understand what I mean by that. With the going with the flow of the show. The show, I'm going to give it the gravity the show gave the situation. To not interrupt the viewing experience. And the seventh one, before they break up, is Big not telling Carrie that he might move to Paris. And then she's like, okay, I'll join you. But then he said, but don't expect anything from me.
Before I forget, Charlotte wants to do a share in the Hamptons, so are we thinking about doing something, or should I go in on that?
Don't think I can.
Why? Not a big fan of the $40 crab salad?
Actually, there's a possibility I'm not going to be here this summer. I may have to move to Paris for work, just for a while.
For how long a while?
I don't know, 7 months, maybe a year. Nothing's definite.
Wait. How long have you known about this?
It's been in the works for a while. I'll know more details after this trip.
Well, when did you plan on telling me?
When I knew more. Nothing's definite. I mean, don't get carried away.
I've been thinking about this. We can make this work. We can, we'll do le phone sex. And if things get really bad, then I'll move to Paris for a while and write Le Sex in the City.
But you'd be moving to Paris for yourself, right? I mean, don't move for me.
Well, why would I move to Paris if it wasn't for you?
No, I'm just saying, I don't want you to uproot your life and expect anything.
I am such an idiot!
What the fuck?
I'm running around town in a beret, buying your greasy food, and you don't even care if I'm in your life.
Okay, Big not telling Carrie about moving to Paris. Of course, toxic. Like, you should talk about that shit. Literally, you're in a relationship. You should let them know, hey, just a heads up, I might be moving to Paris for like a year. Just saying, like, you should tell them. You should tell them. They literally see you every day. They're your boyfriend/girlfriend. Like, very non-communicative, toxic. I don't like that. Then the big, like, don't expect anything from me. You've been in a relationship for how long? I don't know. It just gives me like fear of commitment, avoidant attachment type of love, which I believe everybody deserves someone who's sure of being with them. So obviously it's like, what are you on? What are you on, man? Like, don't expect anything. What? So yeah, I didn't like that either. But also I understand a bit because like he might feel pressure if he like Carrie going to Paris all for him And then what if they break up? Because anything could happen. Like, I would feel also pressure to like keep the relationship going, even if there's a time I don't want to. And I understand why he would say that, but at the same time, it's like, you're in a committed relationship and you say that shit. Like, just break up. You're not meant to be.
So yeah. Apart from the physical abuse and the cheating, let's just like put that to a side because the show didn't take it seriously and we're into the watching experience. Of course, if we take those back, we're like, okay, obviously not good at all. And we can recognize that in real life, but let's just like try to get with the flow of the show.
Who was more toxic? I think they just were toxic for each other. Big was really like non-committal. He found ways to make Carrie feel like unloved, which no one deserves that. And Carrie didn't communicate anything. She didn't anything. Like, all of the issues they had also were like Carrie being mad but not saying anything to Big, and then exploding in an angry outbursts of like anger. And it's like, girl, just say it. Like, you don't know how to communicate. And he didn't know how to communicate either. He was very like on the low, secretive. Like, he went no contact with her like many days. And it's like, they were both really toxic for each other. And they had their own issues to deal with. But I think Carrie was way more in the relationship than Big. And while I understand both sides, again, forget the unintentional physical abuse and the cheating. I think Carrie was ready for this and Big wasn't. And Carrie also says like, oh, he strung me along. Do I think that's true? Maybe. But they're both really toxic for each other. And yeah. But I think maybe in this relationship, Big was the one like not wanting for it to succeed. I know I'm gonna get hate for this. I know y'all hate Carrie, but hear me out. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have an opinion about this, but I just wanted to highlight everything that went wrong and see and explore who was at fault, which both of them were. Thanks. Okay, and also don't like misunderstand me about like the unintentional physical abuse and the cheating. Of course, I'm a sane person. I don't think that those things are good. But the show didn't take these instances as seriously, making me believe and making it obvious that the show didn't want the viewer to take them as seriously either. Therefore, to not interrupt the flow of the viewing experience of the show, sometimes you have to accept it's a product of its time and just go with the flow. It's like with Gossip Girl. You know, like Chuck and Blair. Chuck was literally like a sexual harasser, literally, and a misogynist. But you just have to get through that to like enjoy the show. Well, he also made Blair bleed in one instance, unintentionally. He was drunk, but I don't know. Those are very like moral gray areas, but of course they're not right. Like, she should leave that situation. But anyway, I'm not even talking about Sex and the City now. But still, those are things that the show wants you to move past to enjoy the show and to like really feel like, ee! So that's what I'm doing right now. It's not that I justify these things, but the show wants the viewer to move past them to enjoy the viewing experience because it's a product of its time, blah, 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 blah. So let's do that for now. Of course, recognizing that these things should never be done in real life. Bye.